cultural heritage of India, traditional handicraft and fine arts. In the first chapter, we have studied about natural heritage and cultural heritage. Moving up to cultural heritage, I had given you the definition. Cultural heritage is what? Whatever our ancestors have gifted us will be a part of cultural heritage. The monuments. Okay, this is the picture of our ancestors had made the ancient cities of Lothal and Mohenjo-daro. It is a part of cultural heritage. The forts, the palaces, the temples. Then again a monument seen over here. The drawing, the music, the arts, the dance form. All this will be a part of cultural heritage. Now, this cultural heritage is divided into two parts: materialistic heritage and genetic heritage. What is materialistic heritage? Materials means what? Whatever things we have got from our ancestors, the materials which we have got from our ancestors. It includes all the jewelry, the cash, the bungalow, the car, the assets, whatever our ancestors, whatever our forefathers have given us, all will be a part of materialistic heritage. Then comes the genetic heritage. The genetic heritage means it has come from the word genes. Genes, we get it from our ancestors. Now you will see in your daily life that a daughter or a son resembles his father or mother. You know, the shape of the eyes, the shape of the nose, the shape of the ears. The daughter gets it from her mother or father, or even the son gets it from her mother or father, isn't it? So all this will be a part of genetic heritage, isn't it? The smile you can see over here, the way of talking, the way of speaking, everything will be included in genetic heritage. Now, India is such a vast country, having different customs, values, family system. Okay, so all this is our heritage. Now, whatever art forms we have got, India has got nearly 64 art forms. Okay, all this again a part of cultural heritage. Art forms include what? Handicraft, music, dramatic art, the Kasab work of Kashmir, the literature, sculpture, everything is included in art form. You will see India in ancient time yoga was being practiced, isn't it? So this yoga form is a gift given by India to the world. Okay, so it is also a part of cultural heritage. Now, describing all these art forms, we will go step by step. Now, the first art being described in your textbook is the clay art or the clay work. Now, what is clay? In Hindi, if I say clay means what? मिट्टी और चूना जिसे हम बोलते हैं, isn't it? Now, our life, a man's life revolves around this clay, right from the birth till death, isn't it? A man revolves or uses this clay. When a child is being born, within few months it starts crawling. Now he crawls where? On this sand or on this clay or on this mitti we say. Okay, and when he dies, हमारा जो शरीर है हम बोलते हैं कि वो भी मिट्टी में मिल जाता है. Okay, then in our daily life we use such type of utensils made up of clay. Nowadays these things are useless, but in ancient times, you know, the people were using utensils made up of clay. See here, the toys being used in the ancient time. You know, children were being given such type of toys, the clay toys, to be played down. Okay. Then even man use this clay for making huts, isn't it? This red, we can say the red clay being used to make huts. And on even these huts they used to do the we can say the work, the painting type of things were being done on such type of huts. So the clay art is not a new thing. It has been used right from the ancient time. Even the people of Indus Valley civilization they use the utensils being made up of clay. See here, they have used these utensils. These are the pictures we have got. Such type of clay utensils were being used during the time of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. These have been preserved in the museums right now. So all such type of vessels were being used to store grains, or we can say the water, or buttermilk, anything they used to store in such type of clay utensils. Okay, such type of clay vessels even have been found from South India or Lagnaj in Mehsana district of Gujarat. All these are the pictures being collected from the remains of Lothal and Harappa. Now, the next or the second art is the art of weaving, spinning, dyeing. Now, first of all, you should understand what is the difference between the spinning and weaving. Now, to spin means what? To make a thread. Spinning is when the people collect cotton, and from cotton, from these cotton buds, or from these cotton balls, we say, they turn into threads. So that is the, we can say, the making of thread is considered as spinning. And what is weaving? Now from these threads, machine work is also being done. In the ancient time, the handwork was being done to make cloth out of these threads. Okay, so cloth is being made from these threads. It is considered as weaving. And when dyeing is what? When colors are being put up. Dye karna matlab color karna to these cloth. So that is a part of dyeing. Now, India was famous for a different type of cloth being manufactured, isn't it? India used to even export such type of cloth. I told you, right from the Indus Valley civilization or the Aryan civilization, people knew how to make cotton clothes. So such type of cloth was being exported from India. Nowadays, India has ranking first or second in the textile industry. Now, India's famous cloth is the muslin cloth. You can see over here in the picture. This is the muslin cloth. India, right from the ancient time, is famous in making such type of muslin cloth of Dhaka. Dhaka was very famous in making such type of muslin cloth, and it was being exported from India to the different parts of the world. Now, this muslin cloth is such a fine cloth, isn't it? A very fine cloth being made. Okay, and it was such a fine cloth that you can see over here, it can be easily passed from a ring. They can pass a big, we can say 1 meter or 2 meters of cloth can be passed from a ring. Okay, or even it can be fixed up in a matchbox. When folded, it can be put up in a matchbox. Such a fine cloth of muslin was being prepared in India and being exported to other countries. Now comes, this is the patola. Okay, you must have heard the patola of Patan. Now during the Siddharaj, Jai Singh Siddharaj time period, this patola of Patan was very famous. He used to hire the artisans, isn't it? And very few people knew this art of making patola saris. Now this patola, what is this famous for? You can see this patola can be double weaved. It was known as Bewad-ik. Now what is Bewad-ik? Bewad is one on the double side. The cloth is being weaved on both the sides. You can see the multiple designs. Okay, one design on one side and the other design on the other side. Okay, and it can be worn on both the sides. And it's what we can say, the colors were very much attractive colors were being put up on such clothes, and the colors were very, very durable. Even the cloth was being very much durable. It was being said, this is a sari form, patola saris, the silk saris, and it was being said that even the cloth being torn out, but the colors never faded from such patola saris. Such were the durability of the colors, okay, and the uniqueness of these saris. Okay, so now see again a picture of patola sari, the silk sari, isn't it? very famous and being exported all over India. Okay, right children, now we have studied about the two art forms, isn't it? Art forms, the clay art as well as the textile industry, or the work being done, isn't it? The thread work being done in India. Now tomorrow I will continue with the other art forms being practiced in India, and nearly all the chapters, the other history chapters, are related to such art forms. You can go through the pages in your textbook, read it, and if not understood, okay, if not understood, you give me the underlined words, or you give me a message, and I will solve all your problems. Thank you.